Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Me too. Well, we're just seeing, but I know when some of the herd go out, so we'll start there. Obviously, it seems like they were here to give you guys a little bit of work.
Who?
The Wisconsin herd guys. Okay. So even without that, to have a practice for a couple days, I know you were one of the guys talking about, hey, this could be good for us. Now that you've two under the belt, what did it feel like? Was it good to be able to, get some runs and practice with some of these lines?
Yeah, practice. It's been good. It's been really good. I think it's a time in the season where you don't necessarily get that chance to have a lot of time to really get out and get in there as a team and, just individually work with players. There's certain things like, if me and Ryan need to work on our two-man game, like we have a time to actually talk about it and figure out better ways to get it better, right? So.
Speaking of Ryan, you guys kind of asked him to do just about everything this year, and things that maybe he wasn't expecting at the start of the year. A break like this, how do you guys kind of help him in his next year, right? Like next to school, and trying to figure that out?
That's a great question. It's just all about, your shot diet, right? It's all about understanding where your spots are going to be because your spots are different when you're on the ball the entire night. And then you have to find ways to still be yourself within everything with having it just a little bit less with having scoop back, right? So something that he works on with film, his player coach probably, to help him see certain things and then just, fill it out and be confident in the game. So.
Do you see this week just as like almost a reset kind of for you guys? You've been playing and I think Dr. Miles was yesterday talking about sort of not just always the panic, just kind of how it can be the benefits of that.
I mean, just to focus on like certain things, offensively or defensively that we struggle on. We have, two practices to hammer in one concept multiple days, and that goes a long way, because it's all about muscle memory, remembering what you're kind of supposed to do and like having those type of reps, whether it's, from a 5-man unit, a 2-man unit, an individual, it's, I think it's a good break for that. Now, do I think it's a reset? Not really, it's 5 days, which is a lot of time, but at the same time, it's not, so.
Miles did say, he's like, look, it's a time of year we need to be aware of where we're at. It's under 500 kind of playing, but it's not. I mean, you're starting tonight, you could be 4 games out of the 3 seed.
Yeah, exactly.
Or tomorrow with a win. So what does that kind of mean, and how do you guys look forward there, where it's not late in the calendar, but it's not early either. It's 25 games.
I mean, I think we're at a sweet spot. I think usually a lot of times in the NBA, first 25 games for most teams pretty much tells you where you are, who you are, right? I think there's always outliers. Look at probably the Pacers last year. They were 10 to 15 around this time. That's 25 games. You could probably say they could have went either way. Like they could have just been who they were, or they got their stuff together and they got to the finals. So not saying that's us either. I'm just pointing it out that I think it's a good what's the word? Inflection point.
Spacing is something that Doc always talks about. I think you'd kind of mentioned Detroit with a big fella. All right, this is what spacing is going to be. With different guys now, what do you feel like you guys have kind of honed in on in the last couple of days and trying to figure out that spacing with the different stuff you guys are?
Just simple offensive things, because within our offense, it's kind of simple actions, but there's different counters and options in each of those things. So it's just really about realizing those actions and then what are we trying to accomplish within those actions, because everybody can play different spots on the floor. Sometimes the 5 guards me, so then I'm, more of, the 5 on offense because the roller and stuff like that. That may be somebody else another game. So you have to understand each spot. And I think having time like this to go over those certain things, whether it's us going into drags, whether it's us going into, playing off the elbows, how we've been trying to do. Now's the time to kind of figure those things out.
I know you guys are probably tired of us asking about this, but there's a report last night that Giannis met with you guys to discuss some of the rumors. Did that meeting happen? And just if so, what did he say?
I don't really know, honestly. I don't really remember a time he met with us. Yeah, he didn't sit us down like The Apprentice. You know, it didn't go down like that. So, yeah.
You played with Rondo.
Play with Rondo? Yes. Yeah.
Just having him as a coach as he's come in and out the past. What kind of asset has he been on the coaching staff for you? Did you see that when you were playing with him at all?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's funny. Me and him got a really good relationship. I went to his wedding. You know, I know his family and everything. So it's funny. His last road trip he was on with us, and I just looked at him. I started laughing at him because I was like, "Yo, you really a coach now?" But it's always been in his forecast as you know, as a player. He's so smart. He's probably the reason why I understand how to watch film at a certain level. Him just always being on me when I was younger, and he's very invaluable, honestly. You know, because there's not many cerebral minds like him. You know, the way he thinks, it's pretty special. Yeah.
Maybe going back to some of the offensive stuff. Undeniably, you guys are one of the best and most consistent shooting teams. 2s, 3s, but the attempts are probably way low. I know it's all offense, defense is unrelated, but what's a way to just get more shots up? Because obviously that can lead to offense. But you guys are so good at putting the ball in the basket when you do shoot it. How can you guys come out of this and just create more shots?
I think the biggest thing is just you know, understanding like who we are. You know, if it's like, you know, me, if it's Scoot, if it's Giannis, if it's Ryan, like we're probably the main people that can kind of get into the paint. And we all can score, right? But we have to, you know, realize that as a team, we have probably the best shooting team in the league. So there's got to be a balance between, you know, when one of us is kind of driving and taking shots to the rim, because that's when the defense collapses. So we're able to pass out to certain guys, and we have to just be aware of that because, like you said, we are the best, one of the best consistent shooting three-point teams. But that's how you get attempts from driving, kicking this league. You know, pick and roll, hitting the roller, and then playing 4-on-3. Not just dribbling it up the court, coast to coast all the time. You know, just throwing it ahead. You know, because if you throw it ahead, it's probably AJ or it's probably Gary, and that's what they want to do. You know, they want to shoot those type of threes. So, yeah, there you go.
On the opposite end, so obviously this is a game that got added on. Celtics are having a good season. Jaylen Brown is shooting really well this season. How do you shut him down? And in general, what type of challenge is this game going to present for you guys that's going to help you?
I mean, they're a very, very tough team. You know, won 9 out of the last 10 or 11, and they're steamrolling right now. So understanding what they're trying to do and playing sound, you know, defense. You know, they want to drive and kick, and, you know, we don't shoot enough threes. They shoot tons of threes. So it's being able to close out, you know, contain the dribble, and, you know, make sure we're closing out high hand. So.
Would you say that applies to Jaylen Brown specifically?
I think it. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he shoots threes, but he's more, you know, he wants to play in the 2-point range in the mids, and he really ignites a lot of the drive and kick opportunities for the Pritchards, the Hausers, you know, these other players that can really light it up from three. So